determined to get to his feet, but clearly it's not as easy as it looks. Eventually, he found his footing, and the herd gathered to watch. The calf stayed close to Mama, who was caught on camera giving him a smooch.
Finally, Johnny the Bulldog has been in love ever since his owner brought home a little injured Egyptian goose, Choopy, from the vet where she works. So the owner brought home a runner duck, Chappie, as a potential partner for Choopy, with the hope that Choopy decides to stick around. Now, Johnny isn't overly thrilled with the competition, but it looks like all three will live happily ever after, we hope.
With intern Louie, that's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown.
Good job,
That's quite
Louie.
the story there.
It really is. That's our time for now. Have a great weekend, everybody. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, 17 people are dead following that duck boat accident. This happened near Branson. Boat owners in the Wisconsin Dells are confident an accident like this will not happen there.
The governor has issued a state of emergency for Sun Prairie following the fatal explosion there last week.
And how new efforts are trying to help solve a 23-year-old cold case in Rock County.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. The NTSB has now launched an investigation to determine how a duck boat sank and killed 17 people, a tragic boating accident in Missouri.
Divers recovered the bodies of all 17 people killed when a Ride the Ducks boat capsized during a ferocious storm near Branson. A spokeswoman says 9 of the 17 people who died are from the same family. An off-duty sheriff's deputy and passengers on another duck boat risked their lives to pull victims, including children, from the raging Table Rock Lake. 31 passengers were on the boat when the storm hit.
The age range for the 17 was from 1-year-old to up to 70-year-old.
Divers located the boat about 80 feet underwater, but they won't bring it ashore until Monday. The owner of the duck boat company tells CBS News nothing like this has ever happened in the company's 47-year history.
And following the news of that deadly accident, some are questioning the safety of those amphibious duck vehicles.
We have 2 local companies in Wisconsin Dells, and they say the boats are safe and they would not be taken out in severe weather. Our Amanda Quintana has the story.
The duck companies here in the Dells want you to know that these vehicles are safe and they're different from the one that capsized in Missouri. The almost 130 original Wisconsin ducks are all World War II vehicles developed between 1942 and 45. The general manager says this sets them apart from many other companies in the U.S., including the company involved in Thursday night's fatal accident.
The ducks that are being used in Branson and other places across the United States are a vehicle that they have manufactured. And they've manufactured a vehicle that can seat up to 32 passengers. So it's a longer vehicle than what we have here. It's more passengers than what we put on our vehicles.
He says this, combined with their 73 years of history, makes him sure their attraction is safe.
We've been going through this with, in the past with some problems that company has had and some other issues. But, you know, obviously, a storm came out of nowhere.
The Ride the Ducks Branson boat was caught in a thunderstorm, something both companies in the Dells watch out for.
There were times just this past spring where water levels on the Wisconsin River were going much too fast for us to safely traverse the Wisconsin River, and at that time we modified our tour.
The local police department also warns them of severe weather, but if they're already out, they say it's not hard to turn back.
We are always within 100 to 150 feet of shore in the event that a weather instance would come up. We are very close to an exit or landing on a sandbar.
Just in case, there are life jackets and but they've never been needed.
We have an excellent safety record that we will put up against anyone in the transportation industry.
In the 73 years they've been here, the original Wisconsin Ducks have not had a dangerous incident, and they're confident they won't. In the Dells, Amanda Quintana, WISC News 3.
The owners say many other companies manufacture their ducks because they were created in the 70s or later when it was hard to find original World War II ducks. Governor Scott Walker declared a state of emergency today for the city of Sun Prairie and Dane County after a deadly explosion that destroyed part of the downtown area. The executive order directs state agencies to continue to provide aid to the community and its citizens as they recover following the explosion. A contractor cut into a line that was carrying natural gas underneath downtown Sun Prairie July 10th. An explosion leveled a city block, killing Sun Prairie firefighter Captain Corey Barr. Many people lost their homes and dozens of businesses were impacted by the explosion.
Well, it is a rainy Friday. We'll take a look at your first alert weather. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us in the Weather Center. Dave.
This low pressure system that is slowly moving across our area, Eric, continues to provide the chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's what we're seeing right now across the state of Wisconsin. On Doppler track, much of that rain across southern Wisconsin is close to the Dells, but some more showers have spread a little bit further to the south and east over the past couple of hours. Live look in Madison, some light rain falling on the WISC-TV Skycam. Currently at 70 degrees, west-northwest wind at 7 miles per hour. Dew point in the upper 60s, a little bit more humid than yesterday. The clouds and rain have kept temperatures relatively cool throughout the day. 70 in Madison, 75 in Janesville, 74 in Boscobel. Dew points are in the upper 60s, even some 70s showing up in Watertown with that rain nearby. Wind speeds out of the north and west generally at about 10 to, in some spots, close to 20 miles per hour. So it is breezy. It will remain breezy tomorrow and this evening as well. Mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. Temperatures really only falling into the upper 60s with those clouds. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll track these showers and thunderstorms into this weekend and talk about when the sun reappears again in your first alert forecast.
Dave, thank you. Next at 5, former state Senate President Michael Ellis has died. Ellis of Neenah died Friday at his home. His brother said he appeared to have died in his sleep. Ellis, 77 years old. He represented the Fox cities in the state assembly from 1970 until 1980 and in the state senate from 1982 until 2014. Governor Walker released a statement. He says he will be ordering flags to fly at half-staff on the day of Ellis's funeral service.
The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department says a woman attending the Country Thunder Wisconsin Music Festival in Twin Lakes has been seriously injured by a lightning strike. The Sheriff's Department identified her as 22-year-old Brittany Prane from Illinois. Sheriff's officials say it happened around 12:30 at the festival's campground. She was found unconscious and transported to Northern Illinois Medical Center for treatment.
Investigators have new hope in solving a 23-year-old Rock County cold case.
Known as John Clinton Doe, a young man's body was found in 1995 in the woods near Clinton, Wisconsin. While foul play is not suspected, to this day he has not been identified. News 3's Madeline O'Neill tells us about new efforts to figure out who he was. Maddie?
Susan and Eric, for years we've had a sketch of what John Clinton Doe, often called JCD, may have looked like. Now we also have a full body picture, including what he was likely wearing. It's from the Find John Clinton Doe project, ran by private investigator Jack Freese out of Wisconsin. He says it took 3 years to determine JCD's clothing, including his exact heavy metal band shirt. Freese is hopeful the sketch will jar the memories of people who may have seen him in the Rock County area in the early 90s.
I think that and was laying somewhere in a grave. I think that personally I would want to make sure that he gets his name back.
Investigators hope new advancements in genetic testing will help identify JCD. And anyone with information is asked to call either the Rock County Sheriff's Office or the Find JCD project. Those numbers will be on our website, and we'll have more on what identifying the young man means to the community coming up at 6.
We will see you at 6. Thanks, Madeline.
A vehicle stolen from the Quick Trip in Black Earth has been recovered in Chicago. A 28-year-old man now in custody. Dane County Sheriff's Office said Dylan Schlau has been arrested in connection with that stolen vehicle. Deputies say the 2016 black Jeep was stolen July 6th. Schlau had made his way to Chicago in that SUV, where he then stole another vehicle and committed a robbery. He was eventually arrested. Now he's facing multiple charges in Illinois and Wisconsin. Officials said that when the Quick Trip of Black Earth heard of the 26-year-old woman's SUV being recovered, they offered to pay for her gas to and from Chicago to go get it back. City and county leaders are trying to reach a resolution over a long disputed stretch of highway.
We're talking about Buckeye and Cottage Grove roads, which are currently Dane County's responsibility. Keely Arthur is here in the studio to share how that could change. Keely?
Both the city and county are trying to reconstruct those roads, but won't get the funding to do so if they are unable to reach a cost-sharing agreement. Under the latest proposal, Dane County would maintain jurisdiction over Buckeye and Cottage Grove roads. The city would be responsible for routine maintenance of both roadways, including ice and pavement patching. Madison Mayor Paul Soglin has said that the roads are the county's responsibility, but city and county leaders who came up with this latest proposal say they hope Soglin comes around.
I hope that he will see that this is a good compromise, that it's a way to move forward and work together and not be enemies, which is unproductive and doesn't serve the people of Madison.
The council's resolution will be introduced on July 24th at a council meeting. Now construction is scheduled for 2019.
Kelly, thank you. The Dane County Fair is underway and law enforcement is doing what it can to keep fairgoers safe. Last year, the fair had a record number of sheriff's deputies and private security agents at the fair, 14 each day, and this year will be no different. While the fair draws many families, it also attracts crowds of teenagers and young adults who have gotten into fights. The Dane County Sheriff's Department says the point that they really want to get across to people is if you see something, say something.
Last year, they did increase the security levels, and those levels will be maintained this year. Again, we'll have the majority of our deputies and the security team will be there in the evening when the majority of people and families are there. So that will continue.
Last year, the fair had to close down its rides early during a particularly bad fight. The Dane County Sheriff's Department says it does not anticipate that happening again this year.
Women are far less likely to enter into protective service careers, and a local program wants to change that. It's called Camp Hero. Girls in grades K through 12 get hands-on experience learning what it's really like to be a firefighter, police officer, or paramedic. This is the 7th year for this program, and in that time, organizers say they've seen participants enter into the field full-time.
It's really cool to see early success with a program like this. Our assumption is that we're planting a seed when they're little, so to see that grow so fast is pretty cool.
Program taught by real-life police, firefighters, and EMTs held at Madison College through the end of the month. More to come tonight on News 3 at 5. Up next, an investigation's underway at Ohio State University after hundreds of former athletes come forward claiming that a doctor there sexually assaulted them.
And the president's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, allegedly taped phone conversations between the two. We'll have the latest on that story.
And closing the week on Wall Street, the Dow falls 6, capping a small gain for the week. The Nasdaq lost 5. The S&P 500 dropped almost 3. We'll be right back. State University says more than 100 former students have provided first-hand accounts of sexual misconduct by a now dead team physician. It's part of an ongoing investigation.
Independent investigators are reviewing allegations against Richard Strauss involving male athletes from 14 sports and other students. Former athletes say they verbally raised concerns about Strauss as early as 1978, near the start of his 2 decades at the school. University President Michael Drake said today more than 200 former students and university employees have been interviewed. Strauss took his own life in 2005. His relatives have said they are shocked by the allegations.
President Trump's former lawyer allegedly taped a conversation before the presidential election discussing paying off a former Playboy model with Mr. Trump. According to the New York Times, the two men talked about paying Karen McDougal in order to keep her from telling her story. She alleges she had a year-long affair with Mr. Trump in 2006. So far, no evidence exists to show Cohen or Mr. Trump paid McDougal, but the National Enquirer paid her $150,000 for the exclusive rights to her story and then never published it. That's a practice called catch and kill. The timing of any payments President Trump's former lawyer may have been involved in are being closely examined to see if they violated any federal campaign finance laws.
The White House has confirmed it is working to set up a second summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Washington, D.C. this fall. President Trump set off a firestorm after Monday's meeting with the Russian leader. The president later said he misspoke by appearing to side with Putin over U.S. intelligence agencies about Russia's meddling in the presidential election. We have not heard many details about what President Trump and President Putin discussed in their nearly 2-hour one-on-one meeting. The administration's top diplomat is defending hosting a second round at the White House, while some Democrats disagree.
I'm happy that the two leaders of two very important countries are continuing to meet. And if that meeting takes place in Washington, I think it's all to the good.
I think it's outrageous that the president is rewarding Putin with another meeting before the election.
Russia's ambassador to the U.S. says the Kremlin is considering the offer. Several cities in Iowa are assessing the damage today after being slammed by a series of destructive tornadoes. The National Weather Service received reports of 27 tornadoes yesterday. At least 17 people were hurt. In Altoona, Iowa, northeast of Des Moines, a pair of tornadoes tag-teamed the destruction. And in Pella, a tornado destroyed parts of the Vermeer Corporation's manufacturing plant. 7 employees were injured.
There is significant structural damage and personal property damage across the Vermeer campus. So, yeah, we certainly are going to rebuild, and we're going to come back stronger than ever.
Residents in Marshalltown were given about 45 minutes to take cover from the storm, which packed winds over 100 miles per hour. Much of the city is still without power.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield, who was watching those storms yesterday, and today we're seeing, at least in some areas, quite a bit of rain. And Dave's got the umbrella on the backyard patio.
Yep, a couple of light rain showers on the patio this evening. And with a setup like this, Eric and Susan, some areas that are under the gun with this low pressure system can get a lot of rain in a short amount of time. In other areas, maybe just even down the street, so to speak, not that much. So it really depends on where these downpours set up. Right now, a couple of downpours across Wisconsin and some thunderstorms moving into the Twin Cities. Some severe weather earlier today in Indiana and Kentucky. Some tornado warnings were issued there, but nothing like that for southern Wisconsin. Just some on and off rain showers and a few thunderstorms here and there. And we'll have to watch out for that over the next couple of days. But as you guys mentioned, a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Just over the past 24 hours or so, about 3 to 3.5 inches of rain estimated by radar closer to Platteville and Monroe. Janesville, about 2.5 inches of rain, and some other spots just to the north, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. As far as July precipitation goes, we are now up to about 2 3/4 of an inch of rain in Madison, so 2.73 inches of rain to be exact. Over 1 inch falling today with the showers and thunderstorms coming through the area. In Platteville, not a lot of rain today, maybe a few drops, but that circulation of the low is now to the east of Platteville, so a lot of the showers have moved a little bit closer to that, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods as far as this rain and thunderstorm chance is concerned. So have that umbrella ready to go in Platteville, even though we are just seeing mostly cloudy skies on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam right now. Temperatures in the 70s for the most part, some upper 60s as well, but well below normal for this time of year today because of the clouds and rain. 70 in Madison, 75 in Janesville, 74 in Boscobel, and 69 in Viroqua. Dew points are in the upper 60s and low 70s with this low pressure system right nearby. You could actually see that circulation on our wind speeds map. It's a little bit closer to Waukesha and Milwaukee right now. You see that counterclockwise circulation, and we can see July temperatures today, at least, or over the last couple of days, have really suffered because of this. Our monthly departure is about 2.5 degrees in the positive direction. But over the last couple of days, we've come in below average, and I think that trend is going to continue Saturday and Sunday. But as we head into Monday and Tuesday, those temperatures head back into the 80s under plenty of sunshine. Maybe some peaks of sunshine tomorrow, but I think the clouds are really going to hang tough for a lot of us as the low pressure system continues to slowly move off to the east and southeast. Some peaks of sunshine are possible on Sunday, but still a few more showers could come our way, especially closer to Lake Michigan. I do think that most of us can put that umbrella away on Sunday, but not for tonight or tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms with temperatures in the 60s for tomorrow. Breezy, very mild with scattered showers and thunderstorms possible and highs in the mid-70s. So future track showing those clouds hanging tough, and so to the showers and thunderstorms, at least in some spots. You really can't rule out any rain in a setup like this, so that's why you need to have the umbrella ready to go. But on Sunday, it does look like those chances go down, and rain chances will be dwindling throughout this weekend. Precipitation potential about 1/4 to 1/2 inch more of rain possible for some spots, depending on where those downpours set up. Temperatures will be in the 80s for much of the start of the work week next week, with a slight chance for storms on Wednesday. Then we're back into the 70s for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Here's your first alert traffic update, taking a live look at the Beltline and Park Street. We are seeing those slowdowns in some spots on the Beltline. No major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County, but we are seeing lots of yellow and red on the Beltline, and this isn't necessarily being helped by the Dane County Fair, although hopefully we can get some better weather over the next couple of days for that fair. And things are looking pretty fair on the Beltline at times. 10 minutes from Verona Road to John Nolan eastbound, average speed of around 25 miles per hour. And in the other direction, also some slowdowns, 13 minutes in that same stretch. Westbound, average speed of around 20 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update. Breezy tomorrow with some more rain showers, but the sun will eventually come out. I don't want to go full Annie and say it will come out tomorrow, but some peaks of sun are possible into Saturday, especially as we head into Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Dave.
Ahead on News 3 at 5, another salmonella outbreak, this time involving turkey. We'll tell you, you can keep you and your family safe. Stay with us.
News
Federal health officials have announced they are investigating a salmonella outbreak linked to raw turkey products.
The Centers for Disease Control says the strain is present in many raw turkey products, suggesting that it is widespread in the turkey industry. Kenneth Craig has more on how to keep your family safe.
The latest foodborne illness outbreak under investigation involves raw turkey products. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 90 cases have been reported in 26 states since November. Nearly half of people were hospitalized.
A lot of people in this outbreak are reporting many different types of turkey products, like whole turkey and ground turkey, and many different brands, and they're also purchasing it at a lot of different stores. The investigation hasn't identified a single source or single supplier of raw turkey.
This salmonella strain also sickened some people who fed their pets raw turkey pet food. People infected with salmonella usually experience fever, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps about 12 to 72 hours after eating a contaminated food.
The CDC is not recommending consumers avoid turkey altogether, but they say it's a reminder that food safety practices in the kitchen can prevent you and your family from getting sick.
If you use a food thermometer and make sure you cook your turkey until 165 degrees, that's enough to kill the bacteria and reduce your risk of becoming ill. And also make sure you wash your hands a lot when you're handling and preparing raw turkey.
Federal health officials also advise against feeding raw diets to pets. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Ready-to-eat turkey products like deli meat or turkey hot dogs are not affected by this outbreak.
Stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast when we return in a moment.
Weekend off to a rainy start.
Yep, and it's going to stay that way at least into portions of tomorrow. The clouds will stick around as well. Right now for tonight, we do have more chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Clouds will be with us tomorrow. Temperatures moving through the 70s into the mid-70s for highs. Keep an eye to the sky because a couple more showers and thunderstorms are possible. The sun should start to peak out by the time we head into Sunday.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News coming your way next. Stay tuned.